What's going on, everybody? It's Mr. Do It On, and we're bringing in our next 3 videos, going with the Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots, finishing with the AFC East, and jumping to the AFC South, starting with the Colts, who I think are one of the worst teams in the NFL. Now, looking at the Miami Dolphins here, this is a team last year that was 10-6, won a wild card berth, lost in the wild card round to the Pittsburgh Steelers, lost their quarterback at the end of the year, and have lost their quarterback to start training camp. Bringing in Jay Cutler, formerly of the Bears, who was formerly actually retired as well. So there's a lot of moving parts there. He did play under Adam Gase there, Dolphins head coach, when he was in Chicago. He played, Adam Gase was the offensive coordinator, and Jay Cutler might have had one of his best pro seasons there. Now, moving along here, the Miami Dolphins, a team that lost a couple of nobody really important, I guess you could say. I mean, maybe Mario Williams, Brandon Albert, actually, a left tackle. But they're going to move Laramie Tunsil over there, somebody they drafted last year in the first round. He was drafted to play guard for them, but will be kicked back out to left tackle, probably more of his natural position, because when he was in college, he played left tackle. In the draft, they focused primarily, it looks like, on defense, with drafting Charles Harris out of Missouri, Raekwon McMillan, and Cordrea Tankersley, a cornerback. Charles Harris is expected to probably see a rotational role. I did think he was a little undersized coming out of Missouri to be a starting defensive end, as he will be worked into the rotation. Raekwon McMillan, they do need help in their linebacking corps, and Cordrea Tankersley, they only have really Byron Maxwell and Xavier Howard as their starting corner, so getting another corner does help. You can never have too many corners in the NFL when it's such a passing league. Now, some of their additions are Julius Thomas and Anthony Fasano, a pass-catching tight end and a blocking tight end. William Hayes, who's been a very solid rotational player with the LA Rams the last couple seasons. Lawrence Timmons, formerly of the Steelers. TJ McDonald, formerly of the Rams as well. But yeah, talking about this team's offense, they have Jay Ajayi, who came out of nowhere, somebody who had knee concerns coming out of college, and he bursted onto the scene last year, rushing for almost 1,300 yards. He had a huge, I think he had two or three 200-yard games, which is impressive. That's 600 yards in 3 games. Obviously, your numbers might look inflated. But we'll see how he meshes with Jay Cutler, who is a gunslinger. Jay Cutler probably has his best set of receiving options since maybe since Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey. I mean, I think Jarvis Landry is a great receiver. Devontae Parker could be a good receiver, and Kenny Stills is a bomber, so he can throw the ball deep to him. Now, looking at their defense, they have Cameron Wake and Dominican Sue on their defensive front to go along with Charles Harris, who they drafted in the first round. At the linebacking corps, they have Lawrence Timmons, projected to be their strong side linebacker, Mike Hull to be their middle linebacker, and Kiko Alonso to be their weak side linebacker. Their safety tandem is Rashad Jones and Nate Allen right now, according to ESPN, and their starting corners are Byron Maxwell, Xavier Howard, Alteron Werner, and Cordrea Tankersley are the 2 guys that are backing those 2 guys up. On their offensive line, they still have Mike Pouncey. They moved, like I said earlier, they're moving Laramie Tunsil to left tackle, and at right tackle they have Jawan James. I believe somebody that they drafted in the first round or second round, not too long ago. But yeah. So looking at their receiving corps, they have Jarvis Landry and Kenny Stills. I thought they had Devontae Parker. Oh, there he is, right there. He's their slot. That's interesting. But yeah, I mean, this is a team that's going to have to be very patient with the football. They're going to have to chew time off the clock, because they don't have a strong defense. They can get after you, maybe in the quarterback, but we'll see what happens. Cameron Wake did get 11.5 sacks last year, and Dominican Sue is still the same guy in the interior. And other than that, I don't see this team winning very many games, because losing somebody like Ryan Tannehill, I don't think Ryan Tannehill is a great quarterback, but he fits their system. He doesn't turn the ball over. I mean, he completed a career best 62% of his passes last year. So I just think that having Jay Cutler in there, who's such a gunslinger and is known to turn the ball over, is a little high risk, high reward. Let's go ahead and move on to their schedule here. I see some winnable games, and I see some tough games here. They start the season off versus Tampa Bay. I think that's a loss. the loss home. As I've said in my Tampa Bay video, I think Tampa Bay is a very improved, better team. At the Chargers, that's a toss-up game. I think the Chargers are better than what they're giving credit for. At the Jets, that's a W. Versus New Orleans, I think that looks like that could be in London. So actually no, there's no way, because there's no way. But yeah, this game, that's a toss-up. New Orleans is so tough on the offensive side of the ball with how many weapons they have. And then let's see, versus Tennessee, that's a toss-up game. Tennessee is much improved. At Atlanta's an L. Versus the Jets, that's a W. At Baltimore, that's a tough game. I'm gonna leave that as a toss-up. Versus the Raiders, that's a L. At Carolina, that's an L. Then they finally get their bye week in Week 11. At New England, that's an L. Versus Denver is a toss-up. Versus New England again. So you gotta play New England twice in 3 weeks. That's a really shitty end of the stick. That's an L. At Buffalo, that's a W. At Kansas City's an L. Versus that's a shitty. I don't understand the NFL schedule makers. Like at New England, and then you just play New England twice in 3 weeks, and then you play Buffalo twice in 3 weeks. That doesn't make any sense to me. Versus Buffalo, that should be a W. This team looks like they can win 8 games. Maybe their ceiling's 9-7, but their floor is 6-10. This team is kind of in the middle. Like they could rebuild, they could blow it all up, or they can stay the course and keep trying with the current group and keep trying to bring in better draft picks to go along with them. That will wrap it up for the Dolphins. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. I got the Patriots and Colts coming at you today as well. Make sure to check those videos out. Make sure to check out my previous videos. It'll be greatly appreciated. Much love. Mr. Doodles out. Peace.